Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and as mentioned in previous videos, this is one of my favorite all-time tools, one of my favorite Klein tools. It's just a large side cutter. Now the side cutter versus diagonal cutter, there seems to be a continuum based on the angle at which it's cutting. So you can see this is a very shallow angle, this is a steeper angle. This is where I'm headed, the snap-on one. But this is a great tool. It is big, it is heavy, and if you've been using like a small pair of little cutters like these, jumping up to something like this can be both traumatizing but also a glorious experience because you have just so much more power. Now there is kind of an in-between going with one of these longer shaft pliers, but these things, there are some inexpensive ones, and I did a video, I think, comparing this one to Titan, but it's a different world. These live a lot of times in aviation. You know, you're reaching way into a confined space. That's really one of their advantages. Although there is, because of that stout metal, there is a huge leverage that you get from something like this. So it's so nice. And I'm going to do a video on, you know, as you get old, sometimes you want to do more with less. So yes, I could cut something very hard, I guess, with these because of all the leverage, but I could also cut something soft with, you know, almost no effort whatsoever. That's one of the things I liked about this, but I also used it in, you know, like light fabrication, bending metal, cutting metal, almost as tin snips. If you have the thing you're cutting right down there, the center by the pivot, it's pretty amazing. But I like to check things up near the tip like this. So if I squeeze, yes, I am able to snap that. However, if you go back to your little side cutters here and squeeze, it takes a lot of effort, and that's with the high or the leverage angle of these. Now none of these are flush cutters like this, so no mistaking that. But you can get a pretty good cut. Now this is one of my new favorites. This is the 388 ACF by Snap-on. It is a vector edge diagonal cutter here, and it's actually smoother than my favorite Klein. Up at the tip, if I drop in the wire here, solid strand copper, it just snips it beautifully in the center, almost no effort, down by the pivot. Just silky smooth, lightning fast. This, it makes this thing feel more like a bolt cutter, which I guess is understandable. This one, by far, is the least effort when the wire is near the pivot, because you've got, you know, half a foot of lever there. But what I've started to realize, I just did some wiring in a bathroom, was that the narrower head and the little bit steeper angle gives me a different working experience. Now I'm not saying, you know, skip one or the other, because guess what? The Snap-on is almost twice the price of the Klein. These are running around 40 bucks when you find them, wherever you find your Klein tools. Outstanding for the price, made in America. These, of course, are made in America as well. And these run around $73, $74 retail. I've started to look up eBay pricing too, because a lot of people buy Snap-on tools off eBay because they don't have a truck nearby. They don't know how to, you know, access that part of it, and they don't want to order online because of shipping. Anyway, so something like this, I've seen around $80. So I'm just going to call it twice the price. So you get potentially a little bit better performance for twice the price. One of the other things, as much as I like the Klein handles, especially these larger, I don't know if these are on their Journeymans or just a great multi-component handle. This is narrower, you can see right there, and it behaves a little bit differently. As you can see, when you start to flare this out, because of that bend right there in the Klein, this stays fairly thin, so it does give you a little bit more accessibility. This is definitely not designed to be an accessible wire cutter. It's the opposite. It's designed to be a powerhouse that you've got to give it some space. This is like an intermediate, and silky smooth, which is something I always like about the Kleins. But anyway, I thought I'd show you this. It is one of their vector edge technology cutters. This has been around for quite a while. I'm guessing almost 10 years, the vector edge, and all that means is the way this is finished is you've got essentially two knife edges, one on this side, one on this side, and then they are matched. So you can see there is some, wonderful post-production finish work to get everything just lined up perfectly. And you feel that. Of course, Klein, they are doing something very similar. You can see they have, the machine marks. I did a video showing, I think it was a Harbor Freight, where the marks were different on, actually on two different jaws. So you can tell they are finishing these post. But anyway, one of my new favorites. If you haven't tried one of these, well, there it is. It isn't for the faint of heart given that price, but I do believe it's on sale this July. And it comes in green. And with that, Doc out.